And you see, that's where the people are getting frustrated at, and they're not voting.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of them that are not voting this time around. Well, I finally talked them into it, but it takes more than a couple minutes to talking to them.
Yeah.
And what's getting a lot of people rallied up to vote with my election is the fact that I speak common sense. No
Hmm.
political jargon, no dancing around the issue, straight to the point. And they like that.
Well,
That's what they find refreshing.
let's talk straight to the point on something that hits us all, the price of gas in our state and our country. The gas tax, and they added $20 for the vehicle registration, is supposed to fix our roads, I guess. What do you think about the gas tax? And you've mentioned some of the taxes, the B&O tax. What do you think about how do we heal our state and get some cheaper gas? We pay some of the higher gas prices in the country.
Yeah, that does bring a lot of questions in my mind because Fidalgo Island is a refinery, and that's over on the west side of the state. And I was actually talking to them, asking them how much it actually cost them to bring gas from Fidalgo Island over to here. Well, this is the funny part. I found out a lot of our gas doesn't come from Fidalgo Island. It comes from over in the middle part of the United States, which makes no sense to me considering the
No.
pipeline's right over here. And we should just be able to have it. We need to start really paying attention to this. The other thing with that gas tax is when the legislation and everybody put that gas tax into effect and it was voted in, we should make sure that we're getting our fair portion of that if we're going to have it. I mean, our roads need to be kept up. They need to be fixed. And I mean fixed where come the end of winter, we don't end up with the same pothole at the same spot. I mean, if Montana can keep their roads looking good all year long, and they have harsher winters than we do, why can't we do it? Now, this is the other thing. Why does a majority of that money go to Seattle? Now, we need to come up with something that's going to keep that money here. Now, election years here, they're fixing our roads. I laugh about it. Every election year, they're really out fixing those roads.
Yeah.
I had to get a good laugh about that. And they finally fixed that one pothole by my house that kept causing me to have flat tires. But we need to find a way to get a bill in there that says, the money collected in the county stays in the county.
Oh, I love it. See, now you're talking my language. That I've talked with a lot of folks, too, that feel like, wait a second, this is not just Seattle State or Tacoma State. This is Washington State. Hello. On the east side, we have a life, too. Can we get some money here?
And we're the second largest city in the state.
Yes.
So, but we're being treated like we're at the bottom of the barrel. Not a fair treatment.
No, it's not. I appreciate your advocacy in that area. There's other things of interest on your website that talk about what's on your heart. The outsourcing of our jobs to other countries is certainly not putting us first. I can feel your energy there. This is costing us jobs. What do you think about that? What needs to be done?
I worked for a Fortune 500 company, and I started as a representative on the floor, and it was a call center. And then I moved up to corporate trainer. And I started seeing where these newer call centers, because you were like in competition with each other with other call centers across the country, which was great. It kept morale up. But then I saw one pop up that didn't really have a location. It had a number. And I didn't realize what that number was until I was on a conference call one time. And I was talking to trainers across the country, so I thought, and I heard a goat. And I stopped talking. And I was like, was that a goat? And the guy goes, yes. And I noticed he had an accent. I was like, where are you at? He goes, India. To your newest call center. I went, newest call center? In India? It kind of sparked me a little bit. Well, I was like, well, where are you at? He goes, I'm in my living room. I was like, you have a goat in your living room? The following week, we had a duck in our conference room in the kennel. Every time I heard that goat, we smacked the kennel and got the duck to start quacking.
Oh, man.
But I saw a lot of people lose their jobs, and I'm talking about the thousands.
Well, I laugh, but it's not even funny anymore. I mean, you do call a lot of these call centers. I mean, they do have accents from all around the world, and it's like you could take bets at the table. Okay, which country's going to answer today? I mean, this is absurd.
I got mad at one a few months back, and I called him up, and the guy with the accent answered the phone. He tried to tell me his name was Randy.
Oh, man.
I kind of was already in a bad mood, and that just made it worse.
Oh, man. Well, I understand being global, but I think the global elites and the international crowd have gone a little bit over the edge. I don't think it's hate speech, Michael, to say we're a sovereign nation with borders and a language and a culture and a nation under God, not the goddess, not tree bark, and not Muhammad. Is that okay to say that anymore?
Well, if you're running for office, no.
You have to love everybody. You have to be a Unitarian. Oh.
Yeah. And it's really upsetting because I see this, and I try to remind people, in God we trust. God bless America. And, I strongly believe it, and it comes down to an old Army saying, I've never met an atheist in a foxhole.
That's right.
I never have. I mean, when it comes down to the wire, who are they yelling for help?
That's exactly right. Quickly tell the folks what your website is and what they can find there, how they can get involved with your campaign.
It's www.michaelavnovak.org. The way to get involved, in fact, I'm even going to put my phone number out. This is my personal cell phone number.
Okay.
And it's 509-217-0389.
Can you tell them how to spell Novak?
Novak. No C, it's AK.
Okay, and so they can find out, because I'm looking right now at your website, and you talk about a lot of the issues. And one of the ones I love is if you're concerned about affordable housing for the people in Spokane and Eastern Washington as well.
Oh, yes.
And you're not just a guy who wants to cut taxes and make things better for us. You care. You have a compassionate heart.
Yeah, so in fact, I was just at the House of Charity last Sunday, and I was in the downtown apartment complex a few months ago when the people got evicted due to put a business in. The business never really got picked up off the ground, so they got evicted for nothing.
Well,
the business people gave them 30 days to move out.
Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, we've run out of time. I want to thank you so much, Michael, for coming on board. Folks, that's michaelanovak.org. Check it out. And if you want to know more about moi, just go to therothshow.com and find out about my nightly national show. And we want to thank the advertisers for supporting this show. Send us your questions and comments at acn.cc. That's www.acn.cc. Have a great day, and thanks again, Michael, for coming on.
Thank you.
Next week, same time, same station, you will hear another candidate for public office on Election 08, Issues and Answers. This program is sponsored and made possible by civic-minded Eastern Washington business owners who devote a portion of their advertising budget for community service programming. The participating sponsors of this public affairs program included Rockin' DW Construction, specializing in light commercial, medical office, and retail tenant improvements. You can thank DW Construction for their sponsorship of this program by phoning them now at 509-924-2466. Also making this program possible is Community Cable Service of Liberty Lake. Your comments and suggestions are welcome. Email acn@acn.cc. Join us next week for Election 08, Issues and Answers.